Okay, cool. All right, well, let's get you started. So I'm just going to put you guys on mute. Let's find some music. So yeah, we've got a piano vibe today. All right, can you hear that with me over the top? Yeah, turn your volume up if needed. So we're going to give our neck and shoulders a bit of an iron out to begin with. So I'd like you to just tilt your head over to one side and then move to the middle. Let's do that the other way. Hang loose with your head. Breathe in. Breathe out. And breathe in. And breathe out. And if you place your hand here and a gentle pull, we're going to reach the fingers out and away. And move to the middle. And drop over the other side. And gentle pull. And reach the fingers. And then rolling the head around. We're going to look over the shoulder behind. Notice what you can see. Roll the other way. And look behind you. And do it again. Look behind. Then you look again. And notice if your head is now turning that little bit further. One more each way. A little bit further to mobilize the joints around your neck. So last one. And then we're going to hunch the shoulders and then squeeze them back. And hunch the shoulders and then squeeze them back and then drop. And hunch and then squeeze and then drop. Hunch, squeeze and drop. With a breath. 2 more. Last one. Okay, circling the arms. Try to brush past your ear. Reach your fingers. And reverse. And can you do one each way? And go back in the opposite direction. Try not to overthink it. And release off. Okay, well done. So let's take the feet just a little wider. Bit of turn out through the toes, softening the knees. And I'd like you to lean and then reach around to the front, flattening your back. And the other side. Can you reach your fingers here so you extend into your fingertips and then flattening the back. And let's do that again. So we lean and then sweep round. And can you go further this time? So you reach over more, reach. And one more each side. Extending right into the fingertips, all the way around. And final one. Okay, so coming onto one leg, bending the knee, opening the knee, and then straightening out the back. So bending the knee, opening the knee, and then lengthening. And when you do the lengthen at the back, try to get your buttock muscle kicking in. So knee up, to the side, and then feel for the buttock muscle. Can you do 2 more? Welcome the wobble. Final one. Reach and release the arms. Let's do the other side. So knee up, to the side, reach back and do it again. Up, side. Can you feel the buttock kick in, extending into your toes? So you point your toes quite firmly. Notice how that helps to activate the buttock. 2 more. And final one. And rest off. Okay, let's go wider with our feet, turning our toes out now, bending the knee, pushing the bottom back. Can you bring your opposite hand to the foot? And transition to the other side, push your bottom back and bring your opposite hand to your foot. Do it again, coming down Pressing your hand towards the floor, 2, 3, and change sides. See if you can get your bottom to go a bit lower, so you sit down more into it on this next 4. So push your bottom down towards the ground. Or each side. And then bringing your feet together, circling through your wrists and your ankle. Let's oil the joints. Friday. And then back in the opposite direction. Okay, let's give that a go on the other side. So circling and reversing. Okay, well done. Can you join me down onto the mat next? So if you pop down onto your back. Bring our knees towards our chest and then tap down. Breathing out as you lift, in as you lower. Now you can either stick with the version with your head on the floor or coming up. So we go into Pilates, rolling like a ball, lengthening up through the crown of the head. Or extending out for next level. We're going to reach through the toes and see if we can balance here and then roll into a ball. So choose your level. 1, keeping your head on the floor. 2 with a hover. Or 3 more advanced practice. Can we do that just a couple more times? Final one. And then down onto our front for some cobras. Hands just slightly wider than the chest. Pressing the ground away, squeezing through the glutes. And can you point your toes quite firmly? And then back down. Notice how your back is feeling today. Pressing your pubic bone into the floor, sucking your belly button muscle in will give you that extra bit of core support when you're doing these to help protect your back. So suck your belly button muscle in. We'll hold at the top for 3, 2, 1, and then come back down. So inhaling on the lift. Exhaling on the lower. And do it again. If it feels safe and appropriate for your back today, then just going a little bit more height. Chin up. Can you do that 3 more times? Spread the fingers out, push the ground away. Make contact with the fingers against the floor. Tuning into the breath. Final one. And releasing down. And then if you can meet me in the downward dog. So we're going to hook our toes underneath, lift the bottom in the air, allow the heels to press down. Having a little chat with your calves. What are they saying to you today? Mine is saying you've upped your steps this week. You can push your heels out, push them down. Deep breath. And then let's take a walk with our feet towards our hands. Come down onto our back. And we're going to move into doing a scissor action. So we bring one leg up and down, keeping active in the core. We alternate for level 2. So as one knee comes up, the other one comes down. Go straight legs, the 3rd level. We're going to lift the arms over the top of the head and then circle around. We go up and over and then circle. Reaching your toes, pointy toes. Pressing your shoulders back and chin tucked in. And you do 2 more. And then give your knees a bit of a cuddle. Draw your knees up like this to your chest. And then circling your knees open and around. Big circle. And back in the opposite direction. Mobilizing the hip joints. time. So last one. Alrighty, resting up. Placing your feet flat down, we're going to curl into a shoulder bridge. So if you can push your hips up, hold 2, 3, and then imprint down bone by bone. Let's do that again. Squeeze through your pelvic floor as you lift. So we'll get a set of pelvic floor exercises in on this one. Good to practice them every day, so the physios say. So squeeze through the pelvic floor, holding there for a few seconds at the top, and then imprinting down bit by bit. So we're practicing slow twitch pelvic floor. Squeeze on the way up, holding at the top, and then imprinting down bit by bit. Good to practice some fast twitch ones too, where you squeeze and release more quickly. There's different benefits to the different style of exercises. It's a whole other class. All right, so we're going to hold at the top now, and then I'd like you to lift your toes like that. So toes up towards the ceiling, and then swap them for your heels. So heels are off the floor, and then imprinting down bit by bit. Let's do that again. So curling up, as you hold at the top, lift your toes, and then lift your heels, and then imprint down bit by bit. Let's do that again. So curling up, toes and heels. Now you can either keep going with the toes and the heels or hovering on one leg. Try not to drop your hip, hovering on the other leg and imprinting down bone by bone. So more advanced, we have to hover. We can stay with the toes and the heel raise. Keeping your hips level. We're going to do that twice more, so just at your own pace. Hips nice and level as you do the hover. And final one. Alrighty, so we roll our bodies back down, and then from here we're going to rock up, and I'd like you to find a stick as we come up to standing. We'll do some yoga-based hamstring stretches. So if you can pop your stick along your back and just tune into my feet for a second. So we're going to use the edges of the mat like this to get our feet parallel, kind of on mini train tracks, if you like. And then if you place the stick here just against your back. Now I want you to try and keep your stick attached to your tailbone, back of your head, as you apply just a gentle pressure on this front thigh here, and lean and hold. Now often our bodies will compensate by this hip wandering backwards, so try to pull this hip to twist forward to encourage that stretch in the hamstring on the other side. And then from here we're going to bend into our front knee, and we're going to take the other foot back, so we're now in a deeper lunge. We're going to pull the body weight backwards like that, squaring our hip bones up. Heel on top on that back foot. We want to get a bit of stretch in the toes on that back foot as well. Feeling the toes. Notice I'm straightening out through that back leg now. Alrighty, let's release and give our leggies a shake. So let's line the feet up parallel again with the edges of the mat. So we're going to keep the stick on the head, the shoulders and the tailbone like this. And again, where's that hip? Is it wandering off that way, or can you pull the hip forward? As you lean, keep your chest open, stick on the back of the head. Much more effective if you use the stick in terms of getting that feedback with our posture, because often we'll sort of default to postures that lie in our subconscious, and the posture stick helps us just to bring it into our conscious mind. So from here, if we then nudge the feet apart, so we're just going to come down square up this hip, because if it's sitting out here, we're not going to really feel the pull. So then we want to bring that hip around that way, and on the back foot, be feeling some stretch under the foot. Pushing the back heel away. Breathe. Alrighty, good job. So we're going to take a sit down next. And we'll do some curls. So we work on turning our party pack into a six-pack or something like that. So if you need a strap or something, you can pop that under your feet to help lever you down and back up. The second level, hands free, like this. The third level today, we're going to add in some rotation. So notice now I'm bringing one shoulder down to the ground, looking over that shoulder, and then moving to the middle like this. So then we rotate this way, touch the shoulder, breathe out as we lower, breathe in as we lift, and do it again. Can we do two more? So final one. And then laying onto your front. Repeat a set of cobras, but we'll do them without the arms this time. And we're going to lay the arms like this at the side. So the thumb sits on the floor, but the little finger is pointed up like that towards the ceiling. And I want you to go into a sort of what I call a human dart shape, like a human cannonball, if you like, or something like that. So push your pubic bone down into the floor, pull your belly button away from the mat, and then a little bit of lift, human dart shape, hovering the arms, flying through the air, human cannonball, and then back down. And do it again, breathing in as you lift, squeezing your shoulders, and back down. So as you come up, human dart, human cannonball, shooting through the air, hold, 2, 3, and back down. When I say that, I think of Zach's got this kids book, Oliver Jeffers. They're lovely kids books, but there's a penguin who wants to fly, and he goes off to the circus and learns how to fly as a little cannonball. It's quite a cute book, highly recommended. Can we do 3 more? So breathing in on the lift, breathing out on the lower. So 2 more. And final one. And release. Alrighty, so let's come up to all fours. Now, can you find a stick for me? Pop it on your back. Now, if you want to work harder on these and focus on building some extra stamina in your hamstrings and around your buttock muscles, then you can always pop some ankle weights on. If not, do it without. So we're going to have a go at doing the superwoman, superman, super person. So opposite arm and leg, we want to focus on reaching away, but think about your positioning. Use your stick to just get a slight curve here in your lower back. Extending the leg, lifting it up, holding just for a few seconds, and then back in and down. And as you do the lift, notice, can you get your buttock kicked in? We want the feeling in the buttock and the leg rather than the back. It will load the back muscles a little, taking the opposite arm and leg away. The third level, we're going to hold and then apply a little fold. Now, when the muscle's weaker in the hamstring, that thigh bone will tend to drop down when we do the fold. So conscious effort to keep the thigh bone in that lifted position as the leg bends in. Do 4 more. Breathe. The other ways our back leg will compensate, which I see often correcting in personal coaching, is that this leg will sort of wander outwards. So squeeze the leg in. It can be quite tricky to notice yourself. Good to have someone spot you and find that good technique with a stick. Alrighty, so from here, we're going to meet up here in our downward dog. So if you can lift your hips from up in the air, walking the feet back, pressing down with the heels. And we're going to shift our body weight over to the heel on one side and flex the toes on the other. And as you do the toe flexion, use it as an opportunity to stretch under your toes. Sometimes they get forgotten about. Let's switch. So we press the other heel down. And as you bend the toes on the other side, apply a little bit of pressure down to get a feeling of stretch in there. It'll help them mobilize. Do it again. And one more time, switching over. Applying that gentle pressure down. Breathe. Okay, now if you're using the ankle weights, we're going to keep them on if you want to for your oyster. So building strength, stamina around the hip on this one. So we want the stick against the head, the shoulders, the tailbone, and the knees up in front of the hips. Can we create a little bit of lift here in the waistline? So the muscles at the side of the body are active. We'll hover the top leg, roll the knee back, hold just for a few seconds. I want you to use your feet. So we're going to really point the toes quite firmly as we open the knee, press back, and then flex on the way down, hovering, not dropping. So as you open, squeeze your bottom, and then we're not going to put the feet together as we lower. We're just going to hover. So there's a gap all the way through. Adding a reach for next level, keeping some turn out on that top leg. So can you turn the leg out as you lower it and then return to the turn in? Can we do 3 more? How steady are the hips? Is your head still on the stick? Is your tailbone still on there? To help you stay in that conscious mindset with your posture. Last one. Let's give that a go on the other side. Okay. So great for loading the muscles and the bones as well around our hips. So knees in front of the hip. Can we get that little bit of lift in the waistline as we open the knee? Squeeze pointy toes. Flex as we come down. Let's do it again. Pointy as we open. Squeeze the bottom and flex down. Let's do it again. Roll the knee, point and flex. Adding that reach in the toes, keeping the turn out, hovering back in. Lengthening the back of the neck. Use the stick to lengthen your spine. Get that feedback on what your posture's doing as you keep going. Just going to do that a couple more times. And final one. Alrighty, resting off. So let's pop the weights off. Would you like a drink? Let's get some water. Certainly feeling quite thirsty this morning. I've done 7K already. Bertie did well. He did 5 of it on his bike. Not bad for a 4-year-old. Okay. interesting to see Zach's total. He's way ahead of Mummy. I think Gaz is on about 100k. Okay, so let's go wide with our feet next. And we're going to turn out over this side and angle in at 45 over here. So we're going to switch the hip, slide the hand, go long with the top arm. We can reach up the fingers, head back, eye gaze turned up towards the ceiling. Breathe. Need to have a look at the fundraising totals and see where we've got to so far. Got a one-night B&B stay donated by Mark and Lindsay, who we trained from Crossways B&B in Cheltenham. They kindly donated. So let me know what you want to donate to the group collaborative prize. Whoever raises the most wins the big group prize. I'm throwing a massage in. So we're going to wriggle the back foot away. And if you can bring your hands down, we're going to pull the shoulders away from the ears, eye gaze looking up, straight ahead, into gravity in your hips. Alrighty, from here, if we can drop our back knee down, unhook the toes at the back, and then can we come up to a balanced position here? Now this might be enough for you. If you want to take it to the next stage, then take hold of the foot. Now I'm on quite a decent amount of padding on this flooring, so you might find a cushion under your knee, a rolled up something would help you with this one. It would be hard on like a hard wooden floor or a thin carpet. So heel towards the bottom if you're doing next steps on this one. Lengthening up through the upper body. Notice how that's feeling today. Quite an intensive stretch. Squaring up the hips helps with the feeling of stretch. Let's release. And we're going to come back up to standing. So if you can face me this way. Great. And then over here, we're going to turn out the toes and angle in over here at 45 degrees. So we're going to switch our hips, slide the hand down. That's it, long with the top arm, spreading out the fingers there. Eye gaze looking up. Deep breath as you hold. Again, deep breath in through the nose. Nice long exhale through the mouth. Bending into the knee, hands to the floor on the inside of the leg, wriggling the back foot away there. Can you pull your shoulders away from your ears? Eye gaze looking straight ahead. Breathe. So next step, we drop the back knee down, unhook the toes at the back. First level, balancing here. Squaring up the hips. Again, if you need a bit of extra padding under that knee, grab some now. And then more advanced stretch today. If you want to take it a little further, if that feels safe and appropriate, bring your heel towards your bottom. Often that leg hip will wander backwards. Can you square it up? Squeeze the heel towards your bum, noticing how that's feeling today. What's the intensity of the stretch like? Okay, resting off. Can we come up to standing? Now's a good time for another drink. Alrighty, we're going to use some weights next. So if you can find something to hold on to, a couple of kilos, choose your level. Just wondering if Jean and And I've got something, I can see some candles down there. Maybe you could use those. Okay, so we're gonna squeeze. Candles are looking good. Okay, so we're gonna squeeze the elbows back, open the hands, and then extend out and squeeze in and down. Now, as you do it, I want you to get your ankles nice and steady. Get right up onto your toes. So squeeze the ankles in towards each other. Try not to let them sickle out like this. Squeeze in like that and then down. So we want to get the feeling of strength happening in the calf. So feel for the contraction in the calf and around the sort of Achilles area. Right up onto the tippy toes, squeezing the ankle bones. The next steps today, adding some rotation, keeping the arms at length, eye gaze looking behind towards the backhand and then back in. Try and squeeze your shoulder blades towards each other, chest open, eye gaze looking behind, moving to the middle, and let's do 2 more. Squeeze the shoulders, keep the squeeze in the shoulder blades as you turn. Look behind, to the middle, and last one. Alrighty, resting off, give your legs a shake. Let's do some more core. So coming down onto your back. You can join me down here. Walking your feet quite close to your body. I want you to lift both of your knees, pointing your toes, knees towards your chest, and then back down. Have your hands in the curve of your back, if that helps you to find that good core connection. So we want to keep good pressure on the hand, particularly as we lower the legs. For level 2, we've got the feet further away. So there's more of a gap between the bottom and the heels. For 3rd level, straighter in the legs. There's often a little point where we'll speed up because it gets tough. Where is that point for you? Notice how naturally we'll try and avoid that. I get the shakes a bit. Where do you get your shakes? Edge of the comfort zone with the core. Slow the movement right down now. Particularly as you get just above the ground. And final one, slowing it right down. And then dropping the legs straight out, interlacing like this with your fingers. And if you can turn your palms out, little fingered side down, arching the back. Breathe into your belly, eyes closed. Use this time as your breathing space. And one more deep breath. Alrighty, we're going to bend one leg, hook the hands underneath, and if you can walk up to a seated position, we'll go wide with the feet. You know, it was the cutest thing this morning when we were on our little steps challenge. First thing, we stopped by the park to have a look at which way to go. Technically, we were homeschooling today because Bertie's class is closed, so we managed to book Bertie into an activity camp. So we stopped to look what was the direction we needed to go in. And there was a wood pigeon cooing, and Bertie just stopped and had this moment with the wood pigeon, mimicking its sound. It was the cutest thing ever. Okay, so let's flex the feet. As we lean, where do you get to? Can you hold your ankle? Can you get hold of your toes? Drop your ear down, and then as you bring this arm over, does it go in front, or can you get it more back by your ear? And point your toes, straightening up, and then the other side. So we flex, reach your fingers, hold, and then point your toes, palm up, and flex and lean. Down for 3, 2, 1. Point as you come up, and flex as you go down for 3, 2, 1. Can we do 4 more? If it feels appropriate, go a little bit lower. How's the ear in relation to the knee? Can we get those closer together? So ear, meet knee. How are you doing? And last one each way. All the way down now. Breathe. And final one. And let's release. And give your legs a shake out. Okay, good job. So next up, coming over to all fours. Have a little look at me. I'm going to go like this into an open knee position. Heels are together. Now, if you struggle with your back, probably stick with the lower levels on this. Push your pubic bone into the floor. And when you're lifting your leg, don't let your pubic bone arch back. So that's the position we want to really focus on. As we squeeze and lift a leg off the floor and back down for our first level. So hovering, getting the thigh off the ground, and then down. Level 2, if we can keep the pubic bone down, then we hover both legs and then lower. Level 3, making sure again the positioning's good. We add some lift like this in the chest at the same time as doing the double leg raise. So it does get more intensive on the back muscles, good for strengthening there, but obviously we need to do our GCSE with these things before we move into our A-levels. So can you do 4 more at the level that feels appropriate for you today? Last 3. Two more. Final one. And we're going to give our glutes a stretch next. We'll do it in a yoga style. So if we bring our feet forward, can you keep your right leg out, bring your left leg in like this to your chest, and then over the top here. We're going to wrap our opposite elbow here and sort of squeeze in so that your thigh is right on your chest, and then with this back hand, pushing the ground away, straightening up through the body, turning the head, look behind, flexing through the front foot. Breathe. And then for level 2, this front foot is going to tuck under like this. So you're going to bring your heel under your bottom on that side. And then this time, rather than wrapping the elbow, we bring the elbow on this side of the leg. And again, push away behind. So in terms of where we're applying pressure, we want to push the back hand down, push the elbow into the thigh, twist the body, looking behind, breathe. Alrighty, let's give that a go on the other side. So we're going to keep our left leg out straight. Bring the other one over the top like this. Can you wrap the elbow around? Push the ground away with your back hand. Flexing the front foot. And really imagine almost like you've got a bun on the top of your head and someone's pulling you up by the bun on the top. Breathe. the stretch. Let's release. So next level, hooking that foot under your bottom. So you have a sit on my shoe, and then rather than wrapping the elbow around, we bring it on this side of the knee. Now really straighten your back. So you lift your chest, push the ground away with the hand, and is your forearm on that backhand attached to your back? Breathe. Lengthening up through the butt. Alrighty, let's release. Have we got two foam rollers, Anne and Jean? I think there's a smaller one and a bigger one. Yeah, great. Okay, so we're going to do some upper back foam rolling. So if you guys can grab your roller now. Have you got one there, Ali? Yeah, great. Okay, so if we aim halfway down the back, hands supporting here, leaning back, looking for the ground, hanging loose. Swing the belly button muscle in as you curl up, inhaling as you drop, exhaling as you lift. Do it again. Now, can you move the roll just an inch higher up your back? And we're going to work on mobilizing your slightly higher facet joint. Hang loose at the back. What can you see? What's the lowest point? Let's do one more there. Just where you're feeling that as you hang down. And let's go just that little bit higher. Breathing in as you drop back. Breathing out as you lift. So two more. Final one. Okay, good job. Coming down onto the back again. We're going to keep our hands here behind our head and bring the opposite elbow to the knee. Level 2, we're going to alternate. One comes up as the other one comes down. Point your toes quite firmly. Reach into your toes now, extending the leg for third level. Breathing in for 2, breathing out for 2. Keep pointing your toes quite firmly, reaching into your big toe. Last couple of breaths. Okay, well done. We're going to use this knee to roll ourselves up. And can you find your foam roller again? I thought we'd do a bit of Friday foam rolling. I'm sure we've all put lots of steps in this week, so good to get the glutes ironed out at the end of the week. So if you come in and have a sit just on top, nearly there. If you can pop your right leg over your left. And we're going to park our hand just at the side here, foam rolling back and 2. Now as you do it, sort of really having a good feel around where's the knottier, the tighter spot. It can help to bring this front foot in a bit. Take it into more of a stretch. For me today, it's a bit more on the outer side, so I'm just leaning out. Sort of pulsing, circling action, digging in. And sometimes you find that feeling starts to shift, so sort of follow it around. Now let's give that a go on the other side. So forward and back. Having a little explore. How does this side compare to the other side? Where's the knottier spot? Circling, pulsing. And then from here, we're going to do some quadricep rolling. So if you place your roll just above your knee like this, into a plank position with your arms, and then foam rolling upwards towards your hip, and then back down the other way. Keep some support for your core so you draw your belly button muscle in. Exploring again, where are the knottier, tighter spots? So good start on the steps challenge this week. We got off to a good start team-wise. So let's see if we can keep that ball rolling for week 2. Great, if anyone can share the fundraising link as well. Alrighty, so I think we're there for today. Hope you've had a good sesh. If you can just hit your unmute button when you're ready, and we'll have a check-in. How are we feeling? How about you?